Hey guys, it's Manager Kylie. In today's video, I'm going to go through some of the different press defenses you can use in basketball. So today I'm going to go through a few different versions of a press defense and some recommendations on when you should use each one and how you should use each one to best be effective in playing that defense to stop the other team from bringing the ball up the court. If you have any questions about how these defenses work, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any other basketball related questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to do a video on any of your questions. But if you guys are interested in more sports administration content just like this, definitely subscribe button, turn the bell so you get notified every time I upload, as I post a new video every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to dive into these different defenses. So the first press I am going to show you is a 1-3-1. So you can see the ball is this orange dot. That's where the ball is being thrown in from. You have one player that's up in that front with the key, and then you have three players. You can have these kind of up as far up as the three-point line or slightly drop back in this middle of the part, and then this is your last line of defense, this far person. So a key for this is you want this first person there covering both this pass in, but also trying to deflect that first pass. These three players are then covering the next pass. So this person is trying to get that first initial pass, try to stop that. These players are covering the next pass. So if the other team sets up with players more right here on the top of the key, these three players will kind of drop in and cover them. It's all depending on where the opposing team sets up. So the team that's trying to break this press where they set up, that's where you're going to set up, but I put them right in the middle for now. Generally, they're going to have people somewhere in the top of the key. You're going to kind of come up with that. And a big thing about this is there's lots of opportunities to double the ball. And a lot of presses you want that opportunities to double the ball. The first opportunity is right here in this corner. You have this person and this person can come over and double in this corner. And you can also double in this corner / sideline with these two people. If the ball tries to come into the middle, you have these two people to double. Or if it comes in the middle this way, you have these two people to double. And then if they try to throw that long ball, you do have this person on the far side stopping that long ball from coming in. So that's really what this person is. They're your last line of defense. There's lots of opportunities to double the ball with this one, and you have three people right here in that between the three-point line and that half court mark. There's lots of opportunities to stop them before they hit half court because four of your team is there. The one downside of a press like this is if they are to get that fast breakaway, you only have that one person deep to stop them. So for a 3-1-1, this one, you could also call this a 1-2-1-1. It depends on how you exactly set it up, but they're very similar. This first person, I would say, is on the ball. These two people are covering this middle area, so they're kind of stopping that next pass from coming in and blocking some of the players that are in the middle section. You then have this person, they're blocking that post cut. A lot of teams will set up with two people on the half court line. They're blocking that post cut in, and then this is your last line of defense. You always have that one person in the back as your last line of defense, so they're trying to stop these cut-ins, and these people are trying to stop the passes. You do have that ability to double with these two people on this side and these two people on this far side, so you still have that opportunity to double the ball a lot if you need to, but you also have that opportunity to stop the pass. A lot more of this is trying to stop that pass from coming in. Your next press break is a 2-2-1, so you have your two people covering those players that are around the key, really stopping that pass. Their goal is to try to stop that first pass and cover those initial players getting the ball. Your next two players are generally covering these post players that are over here. A lot of times teams will set up with post players around that half court line. You're trying to cover those players. That's really what these two, and then you have your one player at the end. Your doubles for this is on the sideline over here. You have these two players coming over to double. You also have that ability to double in the middle with these front two players. And then you have the double on this side with these two side players. So these two players are able to double on one side, your other two side players are able to double, and you're able to double right up at the end line as well. For this one, you definitely have a lot of traffic in this backcourt area, so you are trying to stop them from getting to the front court. You have that one last line of defense after, but you are trying to use all four of your players to really stop them from getting over that half court line. And if you'd like more details about any of these zone defenses, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to do an in-depth video more specifically on some of these defenses. This fourth press is a 1-2-2. So this first person is generally covering that ball or the pass in. These next two people are covering whoever the next two players are. A lot of times they'll be at the top of the free throw line or that 3-point line. That's what these two and their focus are. And then you have these two players generally covering those post players. One thing about this one is you definitely want to make sure that you drop. So depending on where passes go, you want that opposite player to drop. This one doesn't have that extra single person in that last line of defense. So if the ball was to come into this side, these two players would try to come over and double, and then you'd want that opposite side to kind of drop down and be at that last line of defense, and vice versa. If the ball was to come into this side, these two players would try to double, and then you'd want that opposite player to try to drop down and be your last line of defense. You wouldn't really keep them more in the same positions, where in the other ones you have that extra person at the end. For this one, if they were to go long, it's up to one of these two players to drop. So that's why it's important on whichever side the ball is thrown into, the opposite side drops as another line of defense. You have that opportunity also in this one to double right here on the sidelines, and then you also, assuming they try to continue up that sideline, you have that post player on that same side to double, and vice versa. If the ball comes in this way, you have that extra person to double on that sideline, where your opposite player is dropping down this side. So if the ball comes in to this top section of the court, you then have that opposite player dropping. So you do have all that doubles on the side that the ball is on, but then you have that opposite player dropping. So the last defense I would say is a man-to-man. You could also do this as a run and jump, which just means there's a lot of transition to which man you're covering. So this one, your first player, sometimes you like to drop off the ball, but they are blocking the person throwing in the ball. Then you have everybody else is teamed up on a certain man. The one cool thing about this one is, as long as you have good help defense, is if the ball was to come over to, say, this person right here, you can have this other person come off and double, and you just need everybody to adjust. So this person might slide up to cover that player. This person might slide. So you just have to be able to talk a lot and adjust, but you are able to still double. So these two people could still double on this ball. Even in that man-to-man defense, you just have to be aware of where your teammates are and where the other team is. So if one person is to V cut up, you could say, hey, somebody's V cutting up, 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 up. And then this person, if they come up, this person can even jump over and cover them, and you can adjust and cover the other person right here. So just being aware that this does involve a lot of communication and being able to cover the options, but that is another option for a defense. You can just play a straight man-to-man, a full court man-to-man. This is especially helpful if you're playing a really fast game. You're getting up into those, and you can run and jump to try to cover those different opponents and make sure that everybody is covered. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Again, if you have any questions about any of the different defenses, let me know in the comments down below. There's lots of options you can use. These are just some of the options that I find are the most effective, and I would definitely recommend trying some different ones out. It all depends upon the makeup of your team, on what's going to be the most effective for your team, especially the makeup of the other team you're playing too. So sometimes if you're a really post-heavy team and you're playing a guard-heavy team, your press will be different than if you're a really guard-heavy team and you're playing a post-heavy team. You might switch up what type of press you want to use. But if you have any other questions, definitely let me know in the comments down below. If there's any other basketball related videos you want to see, definitely let me know that in the comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.